Hi, this is Mr. Dave's Kansas City, lesson number 2, Little Richard and the Beatles interpretation. By the end of this video, you should be able to play the following. Okay, there's lots to cover on this video, and let's get started. But obviously, this is going to take a lot of practice, and of course, the time is inversely proportional to your piano skills. But just keep at it, and don't give up. Everything's possible. So the first thing is we'll look at the Little Richard interpretation, and both Little Richard and the Beatles Kansas City interpretation was in the key of G. I played in the key of F major, and partly due because F major is a good key to actually solo in the blues notes. And there's 3 black notes, and makes it very, very easy, or less complicated, put it that way. So again, this song, as you know from the previous video, it's a 12-bar blues, but in the key of F major, we've got the 1 chord is F, the 4 chord is B flat major, and the 5th chord is C major. And of course, we do that whole 12-bar blues cycle. Now, what's important in this video is to know how to find the dominant 7th chords of these 3 chords. So the dominant 7th of F major is found by playing the root chord, and then the 7th note of the F major scale, which is E, is flatted. So you flat the 7th note of the scale, which you end up a full tone below the root of the chord, which is F. So let's just do an arpeggio. Well, the full chord is, and then the arpeggio is, now to find the dominant seventh chord of B flat major, you play the triad, and the seventh note is A of that B flat scale, and you flat that and you end up with A flat. So the seventh chord for B flat major is this, and you can see it on the screen on the virtual 3D piano. Now for C, it's the major root chord, and the seventh note of the C scale is B, but you flat that to get the seventh, and you can hear that bluesy sound to it. Okay, so let's play the arpeggios of those, and then B flat is, and C major dominant seventh is, it's just normally called dominant seventh, and there is a distinction with say, let's see, C minor seventh, or the F minor seventh, dominant seventh, F minor dominant seventh. But anyway, dominant seventh usually just means the major plus the dominant seventh, which is a full tone below the root. Now, once you get a feel for that and practice that, then in that arpeggio, let's add the sixth note of the scale and play the arpeggio. And it goes like this. Now, that should sound familiar. If you're not sure what it is, well, it's actually the Boogie Woogie main bass that is used. And again, it's that bass line in the Little Richard interpretation was like this, and he was going 1/4 in the right hand, so he was going, he had that similar start to the song. He didn't really do that part of it. That kind of was the Beatles, and Trini Lopez did that. And of course, when you do that, it's really a short turnaround that leads you into the next cycle of the 12-bar blues. So the Little Richard rhythm was like this. The melody, and like I showed you, it's in the first video, it's quite simple. It's just the root, third, fifth, sixth, and the root note on an octave higher. So that's how he played it. But let's move into the Beatles interpretation, which is what I use in my soloing, or in my performance, or solo performance, put it that way. So what the Beatles did, instead of using that bass line right throughout, they took a portion of it and accented, and they did that, what we learned in some of the other rock and roll, like Johnny B. Good. You know, you have the fifth interval, 1 and 2 fingers on the 1 and 5, and then fifth finger and the thumb 1 on the 6th. So now what the Beatles did, they just went up to the dominant 7th and started on the 5th. I put the root note in there so that that's the Beatles rhythm of the Hey Hey Hey, Kansas City Hey 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 medley, which was a copy basically of the Little Richard song well before the Beatles took it on. The other chords, the 4 chord, then is using the 1 and 5 of that bass that we did. So essentially the third is removed from all this, and you're just playing intervals, the 1 5 1 6 and the 1 7, dominant 7th. So and then the C goes start the cycle over again. Maybe I'll do that left hand slowly through the cycle, and then you can see it on the virtual piano. And just practice this. You'll have to be able to get that rhythm, that split brain, and then be doing whatever you need to do in the right hand without influencing that rhythm on your left hand. So it's not easy, but you know, you can get there with some practice. Let's just do the cycle, 12-bar blues cycle. So this 1, and use your 1, your 5 and 2nd, and then go to your 1 and 5 and 1 fingers, pinky and thumb, and then use your 2nd finger to actually hit that dominant note. It should make it a little easier to do this. So if you practice that way, it should be the least complicated, put it that way. once you get that rhythm, of course, when you add your melody, you're going to have to take it slowly and so on at the beginning here. But let me just do it slowly. Once you get that, you're well on the way. But it'll perhaps take some time depending on your piano skills, but it's got quite a nice rhythm to it. One thing I didn't mention is in the right hand what they're doing, you know, the actual rhythm of the without the melody is with both hands is now I put some of that rhythm in the spaces between the melody, but I'm not playing melody to carry that or enhance that rhythm. In my piano solo, I'm really not going up to the dominant, but you know, it's on this example, on this video, I actually put in the dominant of the chord that's being played. So what you're doing is you're going, as you know, the 1, 4, and then the dominant seventh is just play the fifth and the dominant note. And so that's without the third. So it's 4 chord, and then this is back to the 1 chord essentially, but being the dominant seventh. And then back to 4, and back to the major root chord, and there you go. It's just, and you do the same on the other keys or chords. So and then for B flat it's so that's the root 5 and the dominant seventh, and then the octave. This is all within the octave chords, okay? And then C is 1, 4, and then back to 1, which is the C dominant chord, and back to 4, and then back to the root. And then with the left hand in, it goes like this. So that should take a little time to practice that and get that melody. Just keep that left hand going. this is, I just go into the B flat major, try it, and then the 4, and I go kind of a grace note off that A minor. So again. Now, let's cover the soloing. And we will start with the F blues scale. So the F blues scale is this. It's F, and it's A flat, B flat, C. Sorry, I missed out the 4th, but I actually miss the 4th when I'm doing the soloing. I'll explain that later. So that's the blues scale. F, A minor, A flat, B flat, and then B, C, E flat, and back to F. Bluesy sound. Now for my soloing, what I do is I leave out the 4th and just do my runs without it. It makes it simpler, and you can move up and down the keyboard, and I'll show you the fingering to do that. And to show you, probably the best thing is I'll play a quarter note, single note in the left hand, and then play this blues scale without the 4th. So I remove the B flat and the 5 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 notes, and you just play those any way you want. Intervals, single beat, double beat, triple beat. It'll all sound good. And one of the reasons it does, it's, of course, you got C, you got F, which is part of the 3 chords that we play in the 12-bar blues. And then we've got 3 black notes. E flat, A flat, B flat. E flat is a dominant note of the F major scale, and A flat is a dominant 7th note of B flat scale, and B flat is the dominant 7th of the C major scale. So hey, it all sounds good. You can be hitting those notes any which way you want, combinations, while you're doing the 12-bar blues pattern in your left hand, and it'll sound great. Now, to get the fingering and be able to move up and down the keyboard, you need to practice this. So here we go. I start with the thumb on C, go to the 2nd note of that sequence, which is E flat, and then you put the thumb on F, and then you go A flat, B flat, and then the thumb on C again, and the 2nd finger on E flat, and then the thumb on F again, and then 2nd, 3rd, and 1, or thumb on C, 2nd on E flat, thumb back on F, And you just keep doing that up and down the keyboard. So just single notes per, so coming back down, I can go to the B flat root. So go the same fingering but the opposite way. So on the B flat you start with your third finger, and then your second on A flat, and then your thumb on F, and then you cross over with your second on E flat, your thumb, and then you cross over third on B flat, and then second on A flat, one on thumb, two on E flat, and you just keep doing this all the way down. So you're actually only doing the runs with your thumb, second and third, and then of course you've got your fifth when you're soloing to do whatever intervals you want, but you're still moving this 1 and 1, 2, 3 fingers. So let's just do that. Okay, now do that to get the fingering, and then let's do double notes per quarter note left hand beat. Okay, so do this. So these are 1 and 2 and 3 and, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, so you can be so get used to that. And then the next step up is to do triplets with each quarter note. And okay, you're still using your 3 thumb, second and third fingers. But what you do is you do 3 notes per quarter note beat, or per 4/4 beat. So let's do that. So what I'm doing there, I'm just doing 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So C, E flat, F, and then I do 1, 2, 3 again, but it's F, A flat, B flat. So, and then do it again on C. So I hit the F a second time and then you can do the same thing coming down. It sounds a little bit complicated to start with, but if you can just get that, then you can be going up and down the keyboard. And you just mix that up with single note and actual, you can do some. And just to show you how it all works together, I'll just play these notes randomly, and I'll just do the boogie bass, which is a good thing to do for the soloing, and maybe I'll explain that here now. Is that you want something in your left hand that carries that real shuffle. So if you remember, if we go back, it's now that'd be great, to play that, and if you had a third hand and could do some soloing, that'd be great. But again, we only have two hands, so you have to get something that mimics that same shuffle. You obviously can't do it exactly like that, but what I found the best thing for this song anyway is to use that walking or shuffled bass. Again, it's that Boogie Woogie bass I showed you, and I showed you how to determine it. Okay, now I'll just do some messing around on that soloing I showed you. Okay, so you can see how those notes just played randomly and the different rhythms, and just do that. Start out slowly. Maybe you can only do something like that to start with, and then just and then go slowly and try with the walking bass. So, requires some practice. Now that little short boogie bass I'm doing there, I'm not doing the full, but it sometimes makes it nice to mix it up a little bit, and that particular one is I'm going say an F, it's to the F, then to the third, and then just walk up to the fifth, and then come back So it goes. Instead of doing the long one, long root. And it's got the same number of beats or quarter notes for both runs, so you know you can mix and match wherever you feel it works. So again, slowly. And I use that in the ending, so it's and then come down with your 1/5 and on the root. So trying to do that slowly for you. So it's anyway, that's, you can actually use my MIDI on a computer and generate that virtual 3D piano, and you can slow that right down and you can see exactly how I play it on my Kansas City performance. So what I'll do is also show you a few of the embellishments there, and all I'm doing is just some triad chords going 1 and 4, so sort of a call and response. And then I do some chromatics. And that's the first inversion of the F major chord with the 6th added, so it makes that nice sound to it. So, and then chromatic. And that is I'm sure you can work it out. It's F, D, C, and A flat. And then back. Yeah, it's, yes. Here we go. So now again, if you want to copy that soloing exactly like that, you know, you can again use MIDI on the virtual 3D piano. But hey, you can make up your own. I've shown you the basics here. I'm not trying to teach you note for note. Just get the right notes of a particular scale, like the blues, F blues scale minus the 4th, and start playing around doing your own thing. So there, that should cover this video. And please, if you're getting some benefit from these videos and progressing in your piano playing, well, please like and share and subscribe, hit the notification bell. And I'm working on other songs, so hopefully to see you on some new songs. Thanks for watching and have fun rocking. Cheers.